I built a $13 million business by the age of 23, and no, that's not me bragging, it's just for context for what I'm about to share because I did it all while dealing with real stuff. I lost my brother when I was 16 years old and had to work through depression, PTSD, and heartbreak. I've tried multiple businesses that didn't see the success that I was hoping for, and I dropped out of college first semester of freshman year. Today, I'm going to talk about the confidence system that actually made a difference for me. The real, practical mindset shift that helped me build wealth even when life was genuinely tough. If you're someone who's tried generic advice and wants something that truly works, then stick around because this video might just help. Most people think confidence comes before you take action, but that's actually backwards. Confidence comes after you take action on something and see results. Confidence is an output, not an input, and I realized this after trying to find confidence in all the usual ways. I put affirmations on my wall like I am healthy, I am wealthy, I will be a millionaire. I read the books that people recommend, How to Win Friends and Influence People, The Magic of Thinking Big, and Think and Grow Rich. I listened to Your Wish is Your Command in the morning while getting ready for work. Doing all these things did help on my journey, but they were only a portion of what I needed to achieve the confidence that I wanted. Deep down, I still couldn't fully believe them. Why? Because I hadn't earned it yet. I was trying to convince myself of something without any evidence. I realized that confidence isn't just about telling yourself that you're great, it's by proving it to yourself through action. It comes from keeping the small promises to yourself, from facing uncomfortable situations and surviving them, and from collecting evidence that you are capable. Here's an example from my real life. During first semester of freshman year of college, I was working 2 full-time jobs while going to school. I was at a predominantly white institute, and I didn't really feel like I belonged. I was learning from professors who never really had any businesses, and this was also the time that I was wondering, is college for me? Should I spend the next 4 years doing this? Is it gonna get me to where I wanna be? I was actually really good at school, and it came naturally to me, but that wasn't the point. I was worried about wasting my time. While juggling all of this, I was the type of person that was always looking for something that would be more fulfilling and make me more money. So of course, I was on care.com looking for new jobs, and I found a job that literally seemed too good to be true. I applied. After a couple interviews, I realized that I would be working for a billionaire family. Immediately, doubts started flooding in. Why would they pick me? I'm only 18. I'm not CPR certified. I was literally still in college taking classes, and I just wondered, why me? Still, I made it through the interview process, and right before my final interview, I realized that I needed to change my perspective from why me to why not me. I had grown up in a huge family. I was used to chaotic situations. I had a lot of younger siblings that I helped raise, and I also had so many years in nannying experience already. For me, I truly loved nannying, and I understood how my behavior impacted children. So I walked in not pretending to be someone else, but feeling capable in who I already was based on the success that I had in past childcare. I actually got the job, and although the family did end up relocating, this story just goes to show that confidence isn't about pretending. It's about understanding what you already bring to the table and feeling confident in that. When I was 16, my brother passed away, and I still remember the morning that I got the news. I felt paralyzed. I didn't want to move. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to go to work. I had this overwhelming feeling of why? Why should I do anything? Why him? Why did this have to happen? I kept wishing that I could go back, knowing that sadly we never can. I literally felt like, what's the point in anything? And although it would have been understandable to give up based on how heartbroken I was, I realized that that's not what my brother would have wanted for me. The hardest part was deciding that his passing wasn't going to define everything else that came after in my life. Instead of letting his passing become my excuse to give up on everything else and just do poorly, I decided that I had to keep going no matter what. Life doesn't stop, no matter how hard things get, no matter what struggles you go through, life continues to move, and so I had to keep showing up every single day, even when it felt impossible. And what I learned from this is that confidence is built in small wins. It's not built in overnight successes, but tiny victories that add up. I tried a self-taught cosmetology business in high school, learning how to do nails, lashes, and brows. It didn't give me the freedom that I want, and surprisingly, it was physically exhausting. I tried drop shipping, but didn't stick with it long enough to see a truly profitable product. I even tried trading stock options, and I did make a lot some days, but I also lost a lot, showing myself that I still had tons of room to grow before I could see profits consistently. To be honest, I never saw any of these as failures, just as experiments. I feel like you only truly fail if you give up and you stop trying, but for me, these were experiments. I learned that each one prepared me for traits I needed to have to see success. I learned to be resilient, I learned to be disciplined and consistent, and then I found Airbnb. Airbnb felt more promising than my past businesses. It felt scalable. It was based on research. I realized that I could simply make more by getting more properties. Not only that, but it was a business that I could do remotely, and the more time I spent on research, the more confident I felt moving forward on a specific property. So not long after starting, I went all in. I made mistakes, I adjusted, and I learned. Our first success with Airbnb wasn't some huge overnight change that completely changed my lifestyle, but it did teach me that Airbnb was a profitable business when done right. That proof gave me confidence to continue going and scaling, and within 1 year, I went from 1 to 11 properties. Through everything I learned along the journey, it only built more and more confidence, which led me to where I am today, having a portfolio of over 50 properties across the US. One small thing that you can do each morning for just a few minutes to lead to a domino effect of confidence is acknowledging what went right the day before. Literally, it doesn't matter how small. If you had a tough conversation that you usually avoid, if you figure out a problem that you've been having maybe with a specific property, even just following through on what you said that you would do. This trains your brain to look for evidence on your capabilities, not your limitations. When I first started sharing my journey on social media, it was not all positive feedback. Some people spread lies, created rumors. A small creator even made a series about me, causing a lot of backlash for a while. Even people that I knew growing up doubted what I was building. It's been genuinely tough, but it also taught me something so important. Not everyone is going to believe in you. Not everyone is going to like you, and that's okay. Confidence isn't about being accepted or supported by everyone. It's about being aligned with yourself and your vision. One last thing that I've learned about confidence is that it needs to be maintained, like physical strength. Even now, I face situations where I'm underestimated. I walk into business meetings and people just expect that I'm with Bryson. They don't expect me to be the decision maker or a co-founder in the company. But I've learned not to give my power away to other people's perceptions. I know that my worth isn't determined by who gets me. Confidence is quiet, and it's not about convincing others. It's about knowing yourself well enough that external validation becomes unnecessary. So whatever you're building and whatever you are pursuing, remember that confidence comes from actually doing it, not thinking about doing the work. It comes from taking small steps consistently and not waiting until you're ready. Your confidence gets stronger every time you face something difficult and get through it. If this was helpful, I have more videos on building wealth, mindset shifts, and my journey as an entrepreneur. If you are interested in starting Airbnb, I teach a free live class every week. The link is in the description. Also, if you've built a skill that can help others and you want to scale your own digital product business, I have an 8-week mentorship coming up. The link is also in the description. Feel free to watch any of my other content. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!